Roaring Meg, the mighty mortal responsible for bringing this medieval Norman castle to its knees back in 1646. Find out which castle and where I am in just a moment. Our couple today have already crossed the continent and are now crossing counties in their quest for some countryside calm. And we deliver quantity...
Wow. Does this all come with a house?
...as well as quality.
Nice. It looks cute. Yeah.
Well, it's better than not bad. I'm in Herefordshire, and this is Goodrich Castle. This magnificent edifice was begun in the 11th century and guards the point where the River Wye enters the valley of Simonjat, giving it huge strategic importance for any military commander. Now, it wasn't until immense bombardment from Roaring Meg during the Civil War in the 17th century that the castle fell into disrepair and was abandoned. But today, these impressive ruins still stand as one of the best examples of castle building in the country, and visitors get to enjoy some of the best views of this beautiful county. Nestled up against Wales, Herefordshire shares its borders with the Welsh counties of Powys and Monmouthshire and the English counties of Shropshire, Worcestershire and Gloucestershire. One of the most rural areas in the country, Herefordshire's patchwork landscape has been shaped by agriculture with over 5,000 farms and 3,000 orchards. Peppered throughout the region are captivating market towns such as Ledbury, whose 16th and 17th century half-timbered medieval streets lie in the shadow of the Malvern Hills that rise majestically in the east. Boasting one of the lowest population densities in England, the pleasant pastures here could provide a perfect place for those chasing a truly peaceful escape. It's Herefordshire's rural feel that's reflected in the attractiveness of its property values. The average price of a detached house here is just shy of £256,000. That's nearly £2,000 below the national figure. But, like most places, it's got its hotspots. The pretty market towns of Lempster, Bromyard and Ledbury are always popular, the latter just edging it because of its good rail and road connections. But wherever you look in this county, I think it's the ideal place for anyone looking for the more rural, quieter pace of life, away from the hustle and bustle of city living. And it's got some really attractive housing stock here too. But will our buyers agree? Well, let's meet them and find out. Arthur Goosen, known to his friends and family as Goose, and his wife Judy relocated from South Africa to England nearly 30 years ago. And for a long while, home has been this 5-bed semi in the Buckinghamshire town of Marlow. But they long to get away from the rat race and break free from their suburban surroundings.
We've been here 17 years, which is a long time to stay in one place anyway. And I think now that our children have grown up, it's now our time, so we can do the things that we want to do.
Both Goose and Judy were raised abroad, and the commuter climate is a far cry from the environment they experienced growing up.
We both grew up in Africa, and both grew up in a rural sort of, lifestyle. And I think now is the time that we'd like to really recreate that.
Where I grew up, it was very tranquil and calm, very little traffic. In fact, if a car came by on Sundays, it was a real eye-opener. If an aircraft flew over, it was a miracle.
But there's a more profound motive that's prompted this proposed chapter.
The reason we want to go to Herefordshire particularly is because our daughter is there and she's married to a farmer.
We do travel there quite often for weekends, really enjoy it, and the farm life as well, and which is really one of the main reasons that's got us into the idea of moving to the countryside.
We're pretty busy people. We work full-time. I'm a trainer in the pharmaceutical industry, and Arthur is a key accounts manager, so our lives are busy during the week. But we're looking forward to, in a couple of years, retiring and really being able to make the most of it.
So, with retirement on the horizon, a new lease of life in a new location should afford them more time for their passions.
I think my main hobbies are cooking and painting, which I don't do very much of at the moment. I just don't get the time.
I've been playing golf for about 35 years now. I started playing in South Africa, and I play virtually on every weekend. I play in the inter-club matches, really enjoy it, and really enjoy the social life in the golf club as well.
Arthur does play a lot of golf, which means that particularly at weekends I'm often, on my own during the day, which is actually fine because I love cooking, so I'll spend the day cooking or doing something that I enjoy. It doesn't worry me. I quite actually enjoy being on my own. And if we have a garden as well that I can potter around in, that'll keep me busy.
With so much time at home alone and after a long day teeing off, they want a more inspiring house to relax in.
We would like a house with character. So, I mean, character doesn't have to necessarily be really old. Character could be new character. So something a bit different, something a bit quirky, something that's not just a square box. I think we've always lived in 70s-style square boxes, and we'd like something a bit more exciting.
But before we can start looking for their new home, we need to find out how much money there is to play with.
Our maximum budget for this move is £400,000.
The fundamental incentive for Goose and Judy's relocation is the desire to be within half an hour's drive of their daughter in Dindor. Time for us all to meet up and finalise the details of their move.
Now, Arthur, you're called Goose, is that right?
My nickname is Goose. Everyone calls me Goose.
Can I call you Goose?
Yeah, except Judy, when she's annoyed with me, she calls me Arthur.
Yeah, OK. Well, we'll see how that goes. If I'm saying Arthur, that means you walk into the wrong room. So, run me through your top 3 assets that the property must have for you.
Must have a minimum of 3 bedrooms, because we will probably have quite a few friends to stay.
OK.
It must have a decent-sized garden, but not too huge, but good size, that we can have some veggies and maybe have some chickens. I know everybody always
Are you gonna keep chickens? Are you gonna grow veggies? Yeah.
Yes.
Who's
definitely.
going to do that? Goose, are you feeling pretty handy?
I can see myself looking after the chickens
Okay.
I will.
and eating them.
No, we're not eating them.
I take it, Judy, you want the eggs and you want the meat.
Yes.
You know, coming from, a South African background, you've got to be into barbecues, right?
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Big time.
this garden for you, is it an extension of the house? It's an entertaining space.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you don't want what you live in at the moment, a 1970s, box, if you like.
I don't want a dark and gloomy interior.
Right, OK.
I'd like the house to be fairly sort of airy and sunny.
Yeah, we've got some cracking houses lined up.
Great.
Can't wait.
With a top budget of £400,000, our buyers are looking for a characterful and quirky property with light, spacious rooms. They need 3 bedrooms to accommodate visiting friends and a roomy kitchen in which to entertain them. Outside, they want a decent-sized garden for barbecues, and ideally the location should be within a 30-minute drive from their daughter, as well as a good golf course. And we'll be taking Goose and Judy to view some of the finest homes on the market. But I won't be revealing their price tags until they've had a guess first. As ever, our final choice is the mystery house, which should open their eyes to something we hope they might never have considered.
So now, the last time you bought a house, it was buying it for your family, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Now you're just buying it for you two. Do you have slightly different desires from the house, different tastes?
Judy's really into her cooking, and she loves having a really good kitchen, so that'll be her domain.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a conservatory, to be honest with you, or a really sunny room.
I'm appealing to you in the living areas then, Goose, and then Judy in the kitchen areas.
Yeah.
That's your domain.
Yeah.
It's quite traditional, this house, then, isn't it?
We're starting off about 15 miles south of Judy and Goose's daughter in Dindor, where our first destination is the village of Goodrich. Our golf course is within a 15-minute drive of Goodrich, which is a small village that developed around the now ruinous 11th century red sandstone castle. Village amenities include a shop and a post office, a pub and a late 19th century Jacobean-style village hall. And just a 5-minute stroll away and up at the top of Coppet Hill, our first property is perfectly positioned to command an incredible 180-degree panorama of the Wye Valley and beyond.
Look at the snow over the top of the mountains there.
Wonderful. Well, this
What
house
about
is all geared up to enjoy that view. Look at the way it faces. And this is us.
Yeah, first impression.
First impression, yeah.
Nice. Not a square block. It's got a lot of character to it.
Yeah.
Without
yeah.
being sort of very oldie, run down. It looks well
in
maintained
good
as
nick.
well, just from the outside.
It was a barn
Oh, was it?
with a cider press inside it. I'll tell you a bit more when we go inside.
Let's go and have a look.
Excellent.
On the site of a mid-19th century cider mill, this property was built into the hillside on a gradient, and as such, the internal layout is a little unconventional. But our buyers specifically requested quirky character, so I hope this one does the trick.
So when you come, mind that step there.
I like the kitchen. Very nice.
This was, it's a barn, but the farmer, the guy that owned it, used to have this room as a cider press.
Okay.
And he used to sell his cider, almost in payment for things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's quite nice, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Size-wise, it's not huge. I mean, to be honest, I'd prefer the kitchen to be a bit bigger, if I'm completely honest. I like the kitchen, I like the style of the kitchen. You know, it's got a nice feel about it.
Now, your room is the living room, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Let me show you that. Right then, I'm trying to picture you, Goose, reading or maybe watching your sport in this room.
It is a nice room. Beautiful view, lovely windows.
I like this quirky bit over there.
I mean, that's the staircase. This is an upside-down house. That's the staircase going down. Now, many places would have just either put a spiral there or put a box to mask off the stairs. But again, this was converted and done up in 1999. It's worn very well, but it's done so well, I think.
It's lovely.
We're used to having a bigger room where we live now.
Right.
But I do realise that we are probably going to have to downsize in rooms, and I honestly believe this is ample. This is fine for us. We don't need a room much bigger than this. Good.
All right, now then, 3 bedrooms. I think the guest bedroom, one of the guest bedrooms is on this floor, but the good thing about that is it's got a shower and a loo next door to it.
Okay.
So your guests, when even, you know, your day guests, if you like, don't have to go traipsing through.
Yeah.
Right.
Downstairs, I think, is where you'll be sleeping.
OK.
Wonderful.
Right, so coming down the stairs, it feels like you're in the bowels of the building, but actually you're almost, well, just on the ground floor, really.
OK. Is this the master bedroom?
It's what you want it to be, but yeah. I mean, the 3 bedrooms you've got are of similar size. This has got all the power points, the telephone points and what have you, and it's got the bathroom opposite. Right. So it feels like, you know, it feels like this would be your master.
Yeah, yeah.
OK.
Yeah. Cupboard space, where would you put your clothes?
It's smaller on the downstairs. This is built into a hill.
Okay.
It's smaller on the downstairs, so
Okay.
it feels that way than the upstairs.
Right, OK. It is a small room.
I would struggle to think of actually living here because I don't know where I put my clothes.
OK.
It was all going really well, but it seems we've hit a stumbling block over space. But seeing as the house needs to accommodate just our buyers, they could use the second downstairs bedroom for extra storage. There's also a useful utility room down on this floor, but we're going to weave our way back up and out of this property to check out the garden and find out just how many quirks Judy and Goose can take.
So, all in all, including where the house sits itself, you've got around 3/4 of an acre. So, what do you think of the garden?
The garden's a big disappointment to me.
Yeah, it's a bit slopey. You'd have to terrace it, I'm sure, if you're going to do anything with it. But
It depends what,
it'll need a lot
you
of
want to
work.
do with it. I mean, yeah, you'd need to terrace part of it for growing some veggies maybe in raised beds.
Yes.
Get some 4-wheel drive hens. No, hens would be fine on it.
Hens be fine, yeah.
When I brought you here, I knew this would probably be the main compromise because of its position on the hill.
Yeah.
So how much do you think this house is on the market for?
You want to go first, Judy?
I reckon,
Ever the gent, Goose?
Ever the gentleman?
I reckon about 349.
OK.
I'm going to go higher. I would say it's about 365.
Right, OK, well, not high enough. This place on the market offers around £399,995.
Right, OK.
Why don't you go back inside the house, have a look at those other bedrooms, get a feel for the place, and then I'll meet you afterwards whenever you're ready.
OK.
All right?
Brilliant.
See you when you're done.
All right.
See you shortly.
Just £5 short of their maximum budget, property number 1 is a detached stone-built home with a topsy-turvy layout that lends itself to a beautiful fitted kitchen diner, an inviting sitting room and 3 bedrooms. And though the 3/4 acre plot may not present the ideal garden for veggies or barbecues, it does boast terrific far-fetching views.
When I first saw the house, I thought, oh, it looks really pretty, which is what we want. We've said we want a pretty house. The view was absolutely amazing, so that was really good. I must admit, seeing the garden somewhat put me off a bit because the garden's very sloping and we don't want a sloping garden.
The living room has a lovely large bay window, which is absolutely brilliant. The one issue I had was with the bedrooms, there was a very limited storage area. They were also quite small.
Just admiring the view here. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So all done inside?
I think so, yeah.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're all done inside, seen enough, yes.
Good. Let's go to the next one.
OK.
Hoping that the Herefordshire countryside will fuel her artistic creativity, earlier in the week, Judy and Goose headed to the Wye riverbank to meet guide David Leslie for a tour of the stunning scenery here, following in the centuries-old footsteps of scores of painters, poets and tourists.
Hi, Dave.
Morning.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What stretch of the river will we be walking today?
Well, we're setting off from here at Kern Bridge, cross over the river, and then we're going to carry on under Caldwell Rocks, Simmons Yacht, and we're going to finish somewhere near there. Shall we go?
Excellent, let's
All
go.
right, OK.
This beautiful part of the river runs through the Wye Valley and lies in an area of outstanding natural beauty that, not surprisingly, gave rise to the word picturesque by the 18th century artist and author Reverend William Gilpin. In 1782, Gilpin published what was arguably Britain's first illustrated tour guide, and he described this particular landscape as expressive of that peculiar beauty which is agreeable in a picture.
So, Dave, the good old Reverend must have inspired a lot of people to come to this area.
People would come and try and find the spots that Gilpin had identified in his book and paint the scenes that he'd painted and see those areas.
Yeah.
It was really the birth of tourism in this area and the concept of tourism in the country, really.
Okay.
The last port of call is Simmons Yacht Rock, named after Robert Simmons, the 17th century sheriff of Herefordshire. This wooded limestone outcrop rises some 500 feet above sea level and has one of the best viewpoints of the area.
Oh, wow, look at that view.
Yeah. Which direction is Hereford in from here?
You can't see Hereford on a clear day, but you can see way out beyond Herefordshire into Shropshire.
OK, right.
So you've got some really good views, and then today we've got some spectacular views.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful day
Weather's
today.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We've given Judy and Goose a taste of the natural Herefordshire landscape that could be on their doorstep when they move. But first, our challenge is to find them the perfect house, so they can be immersed in such scenery every single day. And the second property takes us closer to the water as we're headed for the village of Staunton-on-Wye, approximately half an hour's drive from Dynedor. With the county's signature timber-framed properties lining the streets and a 16th century public house, Staunton-on-Wye is a quiet location surrounded by countryside and farmland. And in the rural outskirts of the village, we find property number 2.
So for the second house, different position, but different proposition as well. OK, 1800s again, early 1800s, but very different look. May well have been a farm workers' cottages, could have even been 2.
I honestly think it looks really nice.
It looks cute.
Good.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than not bad. Yeah, we're going up. Now, what about the position? OK, you can see you've still got views.
Beautiful,
beautiful
views.
view.
Fantastic views.
OK, this is all very positive.
It is positive
Let's see
so
what we get
far.
inside. Come on,
OK,
follow me.
right.
I must confess my relief that Goose and Judy are attracted to the external period character of this timber-framed property, for the black and white theme is a serious feature continued inside.
Here we are. Judy?
I like this sort of openness. It feels big.
It is big. I mean, it's a lot bigger than the living room in the first house.
A lot
Yeah.
bigger. It's still very nice and airy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
really well maintained and well looked after.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah,
Now,
it's lovely.
very nice of the owner. They lit the fire for us. I mean, it's a big, long room, but it feels cosy. I mean, that obviously helps, but it's a beautiful feature, isn't it?
I've always wanted one of those.
It's really nice.
All right, so good first impressions. Let's
Yep.
go through to the kitchen here.
OK.
Just off the sitting room, there's a downstairs WC and shower room, as well as the dining room that looks out over open fields. Then, across the back of the building, a large dual-aspect study sits right next to the kitchen breakfast room.
I like this.
You do?
Lovely.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
that.
The great thing about this house is, and a lot of people have them these days, they'll have a range, especially for the winter, but for the summer, they'll have an electric hob and an oven. So best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards, let me take you to the master bedroom.
OK.
The staircase in the dining room leads to 2 first-floor bedrooms, both of which share the modern family bathroom. One of the bedrooms is a good-sized double featuring exposed timbers and built-in cupboards, but we've earmarked the other bedroom for our buyers.
So the master bedroom, I think it's just that bit bigger, essentially, than the first house that makes it work.
It does seem to have quite a lot more room, especially around the beds, and a lot of storage space with the drawers across there.
It's bigger enough, I think.
Yeah, I see myself waking up in the morning yet.
Well, that sounds good. I mean, look, so far, it seems to be going well.
I think it is going well. I
Yeah?
do think it's going well, yes.
I think that's full marks for the accommodation, and this time I'm confident that the outside space should deliver the goods too. With a paved cottage garden and an orchard, the grounds here require more than just a few green fingers. But there's a couple of extra features I want to show Judy and Goose.
And when you said you'd like a bit of land, I like to take things to the next level. How about that?
Wow. Does this all come with the house?
A whole lot.
Wow.
All the way over towards those silver birches. Wow. But the very best thing, the thing I love the most, well, that little chalet lodge type thing there has electricity, running water, and already a bedroom and kitchenette set up in there.
Wow.
I believe it.
That's amazing. Gosh,
Wow.
that is a surprise.
You've seen the house.
We have.
You like the house.
We like the
Yeah.
house.
You like the gardens.
We love the gardens.
Flabbergasted by this.
Absolutely amazed, yeah.
How much do you think this house is on the market for?
Oh, I had it in my mind, and now
I'll tell
you've
you what,
blown me.
I had it in my mind and I've changed my mind. I'll go first.
OK.
I reckon right at the very top end of our budget, 399, maybe even slightly more.
OK.
Then I'll be really optimistic and say 380.
I cannot believe 380.
No.
You did say you'd be prepared to push your budget for the
We
right
did.
property.
We did say that.
Is this the right property?
It could very, very well be.
This place on the market for offers around £395,000.
That does surprise
Wow.
me.
That's amazing.
That does surprise me. I would have thought it would be more than that.
This place has been on the market for 7 days.
Right.
It's had 3 viewings.
Right.
Someone's come back to view it twice.
Right.
It's not hanging around.
It won't.
Yeah, no, it won't.
It won't.
Seeing that there's guest accommodation there, it may make you feel differently about the accommodation inside the main house.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's the last thing we're doing today. I might, well, go and enjoy the sunset. But whenever you're finished, just holler up and I'll come and find you.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much.
See you later. Where are you
you.
going? Chickens? House? Chickens house?
We
Oh,
shall
let's do
go to
that
this.
first.
Go on then. 2 rather excited customers here. There's a lot to take in. My only worry is if they do like it, will they be able to move quick enough?
£5,000 under budget with a guide price of £395,000. The second property is an historic black and white cottage brimming with character. It comes with a living and family room, a kitchen breakfast room and 3 bedrooms, one of which is in a separate guest annex. And surrounded by unspoilt countryside, the whole plot claims over 2 acres of rural Herefordshire splendour.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is the 3rd bedroom. It's brilliant.
Hey, well, this would be good for guests, wouldn't it?
Absolutely perfect.
This could really be good, hey?
I think when I walked through the door, it was quite surprising because the only thing about it being a black and white cottage was, is it going to be dark and pokey inside? But actually, no, not at all. Really lovely. Thought it had a lovely feel to it.
When I first saw this house, I really liked it from the outside. I've noticed the very large flat garden on each side of the house, which was great, and certainly a much more positive feeling towards this property.
It definitely felt like I was coming home. It definitely felt like, yeah, I could live in this house.
Well, I did think the sun would be going down, but there's so much to see, wasn't there?
There was. It was brilliant.
Do you meet the hens?
Yeah. We did.
Good. Do you still want to keep some?
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Well, let's discuss it on the car on the way back. That's all for today.
OK.
Wonderful.
Right.
It's day 2 of our property search, and on a top budget of £400,000, we're helping Goose and Judy to leave behind town life in Buckinghamshire for some rural tranquility closer to their daughter in Herefordshire. 2 houses down, and the final course is the Mystery House, where we'll be serving up something for the sweet-toothed.
Lovely. Quintessential cottage.
Yeah, you see it on a box of chocolates,
Yeah.
couldn't you?
And for last orders, I'll be helping myself to Herefordshire's purest pint.
So on reflection, I think there was only one clear winner yesterday, property 2. it had Goose and Judy singing. And the journey home to the hotel, well, all they could talk about was what they would love to do with that paddock. So I definitely think we've got one property in the bag. Now, today, we're off to see the Mystery House. Now, as you know, it's here to challenge the expectations of our buyers. Sometimes it may even have a couple of issues attached to it. But one thing it does have in its favour is location. This should be right up their street. So everything we're going to see today is going to be compared to the second house?
Yes.
Yes, it will be.
But it's the mystery property.
Yeah.
So, Judy, you know the drill. What do you think we're going to show you now?
Well, probably what we've said all along, dark and pokey.
Yeah, I mean, that's you especially as well, isn't it, Goose? I mean, you want big, light, airy rooms.
I love light, airy rooms, yes.
Right, OK. We're a few minutes away from finding out.
Excellent.
So, a quick game of I Spy.
The final stop on Goose and Judy's property tour is in Berg Hill, which is our closest location to their daughter in Dindor, being just about 20 minutes drive away. Settled into the valley, Berg Hill is a highly desirable village that has a good-looking stock of homes. And with anticipation about the Mystery House brewing, we're going to relieve at least one half of the party by stopping off at the local golf course, right on the edge of the village.
You may be wondering why on earth I've borrowed a set of these funny-shaped sticks. But after listening to just how passionate you are, Goose, I thought I'd give you your fix and maybe get the chance to blow some cobwebs out and hit a few balls.
Sounds like a good idea, and maybe we could then go to the 19th hole afterwards.
Well, I would say maybe that the loser buys the beers, but by the sounds of it, that's going to be me, isn't it? Let's just hit the ball, yeah?
OK.
Your wife's watching.
Yes.
Your wife who loves you.
OK.
She's watching. 4! I'm only joking. I'll be lucky if mine goes anywhere over the ladies' tee. You know, the safest place to be is probably over there.
Yeah.
Right, so have a quick practice, will I?
Looks all right. Looks all right.
You wait till I miss it.
Whoa.
Well, I am impressed.
Good one.
Well, I think that was a beginner's luck. Now, the main reason I wanted to start off today here is because the Mystery House is, well, a decent golf drive away from here.
Right, OK.
The local village is just over that hill.
OK.
And this is actually one of 2 golf courses to choose from.
Excellent news.
OK, let's put these funny sticks away and go house hunting.
Yeah, great, brilliant. Thank you.
So, with some peace of mind about the essential local facilities at hand, it's time to unveil the Mystery House, which is just a 5-minute walk away.
So, here we are.
That's really sweet. Lovely. Quintessential cottage.
Yeah, you see it on a box of chocolates,
Yeah, chocolate
It's a country house if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
The second part is what it looks and feels like inside. So let's find out.
OK.
We've chosen this listed part thatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
The second part is what it looks and feels like inside. So let's find out.
OK.
We've chosen this listed part thatch cottage because it's definitely not the light and roomy home our buyers asked for. And it's packed to the rather low rafters with traditional features.
Righty-ho. Another island for you, Judy.
Oh, another island, yeah. Nice kitchen.
Very nice kitchen.
I like it.
Isn't it? Really nice.
It is really
Yeah,
nice.
it's lovely.
Well, this kitchen was built back in 2001. Is it your taste? Because it'd be a shame to rip anything out, wouldn't it?
It is. I like the colour.
Good. OK.
I hope there might be another area.
2 reception rooms to have a look at. Which one do you want to have as a dining room, then?
Oh.
Oh, lovely. This is lovely. It's really nice.
Yeah, I like this room.
Dining in here?
Absolutely superb.
What about these ceilings? Are these OK?
These
Fine for me.
They're not bad for me, to be honest with you. Just through that doorway, they put a downstairs loo, so your guests don't go traipsing through the rest of your house again.
Good.
All these guests are yours.
All these guests.
Now, a room just for you two. I think you'll love it. Follow me. So, I think this is for you.
This is cosy. That's nice.
A real fire.
Yep.
Can you imagine sitting here on a winter's evening?
Made for it, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect.
Quick look at the master bedroom.
Yep.
All right, follow me.
The stairs are in the corner of the sitting room and go up to the first floor landing where there are 3 bedrooms and a family bathroom. Two of the bedrooms are similar-sized doubles, one of which is presented with a single bed. And the final bedroom is, of course, the master suite.
So there are height restrictions up here to an extent.
Oh, this is nice. I like it. Nice and bright.
Got a bit of storage there.
We'll have a look at that storage. A quick peek.
Ha-ha!
Quite sneakily put in there.
Sweet.
It's not massive up here.
No, it's not, but...
No, it's not,
not
but
too
I think
pokey.
it would...
It isn't?
And it's light. And it's light and airy.
You do have
Lovely
a few views from this
view, yeah.
bedroom. It obviously overlooks the garden, which I'm really keen on showing you, because, again, very different, but I think there's upsides to it as well.
OK.
Right,
Let's
okay.
take a
Brilliant.
peek.
OK.
So far, the vintage mystery property seems to be successfully dispelling Goose and Judy's fear of dark and dingy cottages. Garden-wise, there's a gravelled patio and a large lawn, as well as some raised beds. But there's also a little something just for Judy.
You mentioned you'd like to, when you do get the chance to retire, maybe taking up your art again.
Yeah.
Those two sheds are actually joined up. They make a lovely little artist studio.
Ooh, excellent.
OK.
So, your village location, yet you've got the right-sized garden, your quirky but hopefully the right-sized house.
It is the right size
Yes.
house.
What do you think it's worth?
395.
OK.
OK, I'm going to go lower.
Why have you got that funny... Why have you got this expression on your face?
Because I think I know what this property costs.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it on the internet,
OK.
and actually I wanted to come and see it.
Cheating.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, that's good then.
Yep.
So if we hadn't have showed you this house, you might want to come and
I
look at it.
probably
anyway.
would have come and seen it anyway, yeah.
OK. Well, go on then. How much do you think this place is on the market for, or how much you know it's on the market for?
365,000.
This is smug Judy, isn't it? Yeah, I've just met smug Judy. Well, yes, you're absolutely quite right. It's £365,000. For you, then, I mean, you thought it was
More.
a lot more.
Because of the location. It's an unusual house.
Yeah.
Very unusual house. It's listed. And, yeah, I just thought it was more.
Yeah.
It's a really nice property.
You've got to have a look at this house without me in your ear. Have a look at all the rooms you haven't yet seen, spend some time in the garden, and then we'll find out what you want to do afterwards. All right?
OK.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So go back into the house and have a look at the other bedrooms, yeah?
OK.
Thank you very
lovely.
much.
Thank you.
I'm getting the impression that Goose is quite impulsive, but Judy's playing her cards fairly close to her chest. Maybe it's because she's seen it on the internet before, I'm not sure. But when you look at their shopping list, it's pretty close, isn't it?
Our lowest price option, with a guide price of £365,000, the Mystery House is a Grade 2 listed timber-framed and clad cottage. It has a stylish country kitchen breakfast room, 2 separate reception rooms and 3 bedrooms, including a master ensuite. Outside, there's a large, well-tended garden, and the property is located smack bang in the centre of the village, right next door to a golf course.
Oh, this is a lovely bright room.
It is.
Just fit a double bed in here.
Yeah. There's room for creating some storage as well,
Yep.
as they've done
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And maybe along this wall as well.
More along this wall too.
Yeah.
I really love the house. I thought that it's really, really pretty. It's a real chocolate box house and right in the middle of a village, which is perfect. And obviously not far from the golf club, so the whole thing was really, I was thrilled.
I think this one suits us by far the most, and I now place this as my favourite house.
I must say, even on a slightly chilly day today, you get the sense of what it must be like here in the summer on this patio, don't you? So I think we need a bit of thinking time, then maybe we'll catch up for a chat, yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
That wraps up the end of Goose and Judy's property tour in Herefordshire, but there's still an abundance of beautiful houses to suit all budgets that are waiting to be snapped up, such as this stone-built 3-bedroom Victorian semi in Ross-on-Wye, currently on the market for £259,000. Just over £100,000 extra could bag you this detached 3-bed stone cottage in Newton. Situated down a private road against an impressive rural backdrop, it comes with a bright, modern kitchen breakfast room and a guide price of £365,000. And how about this spot overlooking the River Wye for the most idyllic setting? With an asking price of £500,000, this stunning valley vista is just one of the benefits attached to this red stone cottage in Ballingham. Set over 4 floors, it also has a cosy lounge and a triple aspect master that encapsulates the textbook room with a view. If there's one thing synonymous with Herefordshire, it has to be agriculture. And the largest agricultural sector in the country is dairy farming, worth over £3 billion a year, with an annual milk production around 13 billion litres. But the UK dairy industry is in crisis as farmers struggle to break even. So much so that over the last 5 years, some 1,500 farms have stopped producing milk. However, on Lower Buckholt Farm here in Herefordshire, third-generation farmers Ollie and Ed Partridge are successfully adopting innovative methods to ensure their family's 60-year-old farming pedigree continues to thrive.
Morning, chaps.
Morning, how you doing?
How are you? You are Ed.
Nice
Ollie. Ollie, how are you?
Good.
Who's this?
That's Merlin.
That's Mel.
Cool. Welcome to the farm. Wanna come meet the cows?
Yeah, I'd love to, please.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Come on, Merlin. Come on, Mel.
Brothers Ollie and Ed work across 2 sites and have a herd that currently stands at 250 Holstein Friesian milking cows.
So, Ed, why are dairy farmers finding it so tough at the moment?
The weather's been appalling.
Yeah.
The rain hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
The feed price has been high, and the milk price has been volatile.
We grow a lot of maize, which is provides starch for the high-yielding cows.
Yeah.
And basically, we had a third of a crop. So that's run out early. We're buying in extra silage, and it's very expensive.
It still amazes me that, you buy a pint of milk cheaper than you buy a pint of water. I mean, the amount of work that goes into a pint of milk, and you give it away, essentially, don't you?
Yeah, it's incredible. There's such a lot of attention to detail and effort and skill goes into dairy farming.
I mean, our philosophy is if we look after the cows, then they'll look after us.
Despite the national drop of dairy herds, recent figures show the average milk yield has increased to about 241 litres per cow. And the brothers have invested in a state-of-the-art milk parlour to cater for their high-yield cows. Each animal is given a number which correlates to a computer programme.
Đời trôi qua